Welcome and karibuni to a room of Zanzibar. Today we're going to be making homemade ice cream without an ice cream machine. So my main ingredients is sweetened condensed milk of any brand that you have, and we're going to be using some heavy whipping cream, and the rest of the ingredients are for flavoring. So I've got some sugar, some salt, and I have some avocados. Of course, I'm making an avocado ice cream. I've got some vanilla, and I'm making strawberry ice cream and chocolate ice cream. So we've got some cocoa and we've got some Oreos. So I've washed my strawberry nicely, and you just want to pat them dry to make sure there's no water. You don't want any ice in your ice cream because it's going to make it a little bit hard. And you're just going to remove the green part, whatever that is, the leaves, and then so I've cut that into small pieces, and I'm using a blender today, but you can use a food processor. This is for those who don't have a food processor. I also added half a teaspoon of sugar in there. It didn't come through, so I like to make my strawberries not a nice puree, just a little bit chunky. Now, whatever you're going to be using tools, please make sure that they're cold. These are frozen. Mine came from the freezer, not frozen. And your heavy whipping cream is also cold. So I'm using about 300 ml, which is about 1¼ cup of heavy whipping cream. Make sure it's cold as well. I'm just going to pour it into the bowl. And I'm using 1/4 cup, which is about 200 ml of the sweetened condensed milk. You can add a little more, but make sure that it's not too overpowering. And a little bit of vanilla. I'm using Mexican vanilla. I ran out of vanilla. And we're just going to whisk this till soft peaks. And I did add a pinch of salt. I don't know at what point. I think when I was editing, I must have got it off. So you want your cream to be just like this, not too thick, just soft peaks. And then we're going to start folding in the strawberries. Now, if you want your strawberry to be puree, nice smooth puree, go ahead and blend it more. And you want to do this gently. You don't want to deflate the air because you want this to be fluffy and creamy. And that's it. It's very simple. So we're just going to pour this into a nice container. Make sure, of course, there are no holes, but there's no air that's going to penetrate through. Just shake it and make it level. And that's it. Going to put it in the freezer for about 6 hours or more if you want to, if you can hold on to that thought. Now for my second part of the ice cream, which is chocolate, and I'm using again the same measurement. If you want extra, you can always double up the measurements, all right? And you can make any flavors. I have actually used the dulce de leche, the caramelized condensed milk. I love that. And for the chocolate, I'm using 1½ tablespoons of cocoa powder. But if you want to use chocolate chips like this, please make sure that you melt them ahead of time and you cool them before you add them to the rest of the ingredients. So you're just going to mix this into a nice thick paste. You can add more condensed milk if you want. And again, to the milk, heavy whipping cream, it's the same process, just different flavors. All right, and we're just gonna whisk this well, or whip it well. Again, I also added a pinch of salt in this, and a little vanilla. If you want to do a mocha, some coffee wouldn't hurt. I love a mocha, actually. That's my favorite. Everything is my favorite. Everything that tastes good is my favorite. So anyway, you want it to be nice like this, okay? And then we're just going to fold in the chocolate mixture. You can do Milo. You can do peanut butter. You can do caramel. Whatever you want. You can add some Reese's in there. You can add some nuts. It's absolutely your choice. And so when you make an ice cream from home, you know, you have a variety of choices. You just do it. Okay, so we're just going to fold it gently like that. Now I decided to add more cocoa powder because I wanted more color and more chocolate flavor. I like mine a little bit bitter taste, you know. So we're just going to fold it in again, and that's it. Yeah, I added Oreos. My daughter wanted Oreos, but I think I over crushed them. They were like almost fine. You could barely taste the Oreos. You want them chunky and nice, not like this. So she was kind of not so happy. So just going to mix it like that and then just put it in the container again. It's the same process. It's just the way I just wanted to share with you to mix the flavors, to blend in the flavors differently. So that way, you know, if you can't do this, then you can do the other way. All right, so you're just going to level that up. And into the freezer. Now my last one is the avocado. This is my favorite. And you want it to be nice and really well ripe. This is not so good, so I had to use another one. You want the avocado to be well ripe. And I've scooped them out, and they're in the blender, as you can see, and I add the sweetened condensed milk, the same measurement, and 1 tablespoon of honey. And we're just going to make this a nice, smooth puree. Now with a blender, it's a kind of challenge to do this. So if you have a food processor, this is better. I also added 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and some mint. I started with 2, but I added more because I wanted it extra minty. So that's it, and it's nice puree. And the same process, you want to whip your cream nice and smooth and silky. Over here, I kind of over whipped it, and you will see this is not the way it's supposed to be, but stuff happens sometimes. So you don't want your cream to be like this, all right? So we're gonna fold in the avocado, okay? And the avocado is heavy, so make sure that you don't put a lot at a time. You want to do it slowly, little by little, because you don't want to deflate the air of your heavy whipping cream. All right, that's a kind of messy. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. My hands are full of cream and avocado. I don't know what was going on. All right, so now it's ready, and we're just going to pour this into the container. And that's it. So for me, I actually didn't keep it 6 hours. I kept it one day because, you know, I didn't have chance to come back and do the last part. So starting with my strawberry, you see my lid broke. So you can see some shiny icicles up there. But it was okay, not so bad, because there was another ice cream on top of it, so it kind of protected it. And so that's for my strawberry, and now we're going to do the chocolate. See how nicely and smooth our chocolate ice cream is. I didn't add any sugar to the chocolate. All right, there's a chunk of Oreo. I'm just going to decorate it with half of Oreo. And for my avocado, this was a kind of hard to scoop it out, because you remember the cream was over whipped, so this is the result. You don't want your ice cream to be hard, you want your ice cream to be silky and smooth, all right? So that was not very good, but it's only me who's going to have it. And I'm glad that you see this so that you know when things go wrong, this is what's going to happen. So anyway, And we're going to put some mint leaves there. So thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar, and you'll find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like,